afternoon. Here is the news at 4. First, the highlights. Lagos State government trains personnel on cyberspace management. West African civil society organization urge ECOWAS to adopt term limit on tenure elongation. On the foreign scene, Supreme Court in U.S. state of Texas holds order allowing emergency abortion. In sport, FIFA confirms 3 bids for 2027 Women's World Cup. Now the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Lagos State Ministry of Information and Strategy has trained selected personnel in the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation to become advocates of adequate information management on policies and social economic development using their individual social media handles for the information dissemination process. Speaking during a training session tagged Enlightenment and Sensitization Program organized by the Social Media Unit, Ministry of Information and Strategy, Director of Social Media, Jide Atosui, said the program was designed at ensuring that the personnel leverage the state government social media handles for information dissemination to the public. He added that the training will further broaden the horizon of participants and provide them with cutting-edge information on the current trends on social media. Also speaking, the Deputy Director of Social Media, Obafemi Ajayi, who facilitated the training, explained that traditional media encompasses outdated methods in advertising and marketing that have been used for a long time to reach potential customers who have metamorphosed into current use of social media handles. The Lagos State government, through the Lagos State Primary Health Care Board and its partners, have inaugurated a state subcommittee for community-based maternal, perinatal, and child death surveillance and response, CMP-CDRS. SR, beg your pardon. The inauguration of the committee took place during a stakeholders engagement. Speaking at the event, Special Advisor to the Governor on Health, Olukemi Ogunyemi, noted that it has become imperative to involve members of the community, particularly at the grassroots, in reducing the rate of maternal and child mortality in the state. Ogunyemi said the Babajide Sanwo-Olu government is keenly interested in the well-being of all Lagosians, especially pregnant women and children. She charged the subcommittee members to go all out in the discharge of their duties and ensure that the trust reposed in them by the state government for the assignment is justified. Earlier in his address, the Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Primary Health Care Board, Ibrahim Mustafa, identified the importance of sensitizing the stakeholders on modalities for the rollout of community-based maternal, perinatal, and child death surveillance and response in Lagos. The management of the Nigeria Customs Service (NCS) says it has approved the promotion of 357 personnel. Announcing this in a statement, the National Public Relations Officer of the service, Abdullahi Maiwada, said the decision was taken during the 7th NCS management meeting, chaired by the Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi. Maiwada said the beneficiaries were from the ranks of Customs Assistant 1 to Inspector of Customs. He added that the comprehensive promotion list encompasses both the general duty and support staff personnel who excelled in the 2023 promotion exercise. Now to the rest of the stories. The West Africa Democracy Network, a transnational network of 35 civil society organizations, CSOs, has called on the Economic Community of West African State, ECOWAS, to adopt term limit to address tenure elongation in the region. Speaking in an interview, some members said the call was imperative to strengthen democracy in the region and curtail crises coming with 10-year elongation of heads of state exerting long rules in their countries. The network coordinator, Paul Osei Kufo, in the concept note quoted a report saying 75% of citizens in 34 African countries favor limiting presidential mandates to 2 terms. Osei Kufo said in West Africa, efforts to extend presidential terms had been more successful than unsuccessful, with the resulting elections won by the incumbent, especially within Francophone countries. Also speaking, Director of Programs and Policy Engagement, Center for Democracy and Development, Ghana, Kojo Asante, said the CSOs believed that it was essential for ECOWAS and heads of state in the region to make a move against tenure elongation and not see it as a business as usual. Kano State government says it has blocked leakages that may lead to the misuse of public funds by those in authority in the state. Governor Abba Yusuf said this at the commemoration of the 2023 International Anti-Corruption Day in Kano, noting that the government has prioritized the creation of anti-corruption units in government agencies while ensuring payment of outstanding 6 billion naira pensions and gratuities of retirees. Yusuf, who was represented by his deputy, Aminu Gwazo, said the government has resumed payment of salaries to civil servants without unnecessary deductions introduced by his immediate predecessor. He added that public properties illegally required by individuals during the last administration have been recovered and put to public use, giving an example of the Hasiya Bayero Pediatric Hospital. In foreign news, the Texas Supreme Court has temporarily halted a lower court's ruling that allowed a woman who is 20 weeks pregnant to get an abortion despite the conservative U.S. state's ban on the procedure. The one-page order from the all-Republican top court was issued late on Friday, and the legal battle was seen as a major test case since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned the nationwide constitutional right to abortion last year, enabling states like Texas to pass near-complete bans. State District Judge Maya Gamble had on Thursday ruled to permit a 31-year-old mother of 2, Kate Cox, to have an abortion under the narrow exceptions to Texas ban since a fetus had a fatal diagnosis. In sport now, World Football governing body FIFA has confirmed that 3 bids to host the Women's World Cup in 2027 had been lodged across 3 confederations before the bidding process closed. In a statement, FIFA said it received a joint bid between Belgium, Netherlands, and Germany, while Mexico and the United States also teamed up as they submitted another joint bid just before Friday's deadline. According to FIFA, Brazil is the only country with a sole bid. It said a thorough evaluation process will now commence, including on-site inspection visit that are due to get underway in February 2024 before publishing its findings in a bid evaluation report in May 2024. And that's it on the news at 4, but just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, formerly Twitter, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Watch us live on Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. On YouTube, subscribe and watch all our previous programs and news on our channel, Traffic Radio 961. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration supported 152 businesses and persons in the tech ecosystem under the Lagos Innovate program? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Ministry of Information and Strategy has trained selected personnel in the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation to become advocates of adequate information management on policies and socio-economic development using their individual social media handles for the information dissemination process. The West Africa Democracy Network, a transnational network of 35 civil society organizations, CSOs, is called on the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to adopt term limit to address tenure elongation in the region. We also told you that the Texas Supreme Court has temporarily halted a lower court's ruling that allowed a woman who is 20 weeks pregnant to get an abortion, despite the conservative U.S. state ban on the procedure. And finally, in sports, World Football Governing Body, FIFA, has confirmed that 3 bids to host the Women's World Cup in 2027 had been lodged across 3 confederations before the bidding process closed. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to newsroom@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adirayo Iduwolaya. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon.
Don't you think it is better to get the updates fast and undiluted from